Hey everybody, this is Tony Gray from the Opinionated Security Podcast. Welcome to episode 11. Today we're going to talk about probably the biggest CISO rookie mistake that people can make, and that's working as a CISO strictly within your comfort zone, whatever that comfort zone may be. I'm going to start this episode with a confession. There's a lot of things that I love about information security. It's not just a job, but a craft, often performed by amazing craft people when done correctly. But when I think about what I love most, that thing that just brings joy to my heart, it's an odd but wonderful set of few seconds between the time that I get that text or call from a staff member saying, "Hey, something's up, boss," and before I know what the issue actually is. It's that moment of anticipation, that few seconds without knowing what potential upcoming chaos is about to ensue, if any. And I thrive in chaos. In many ways, it's my jam. Chaos is my comfort zone. And I'm ready. But a CISO can't be successful operating in chaos, even if it's their comfort zone. The job of a CISO is to minimize chaos, not to operate in it. I'm not going to be the one that rolls up my sleeves and digs into the details of this particular issue. That's not the CISO's role. The CISO's role is to minimize chaos. The CISO's role is to program build and communicate and minimize the amount of chaos in an organization. And that's when the hard reality hits me. I'm the CISO. No! If we view our role as CISOs in the context of protecting the organization from cybersecurity threats and also maintaining a relationship with the executive team and helping them understand what the plan, gaps, and resources that are required to build and mature the cybersecurity program are, then we have to be sure that we're not letting our own view of the CISO role interfere with those activities. For instance, some of us might come from red team or other offensive backgrounds. This can be exceptionally useful for helping us to understand adversary tactics and the technical details around various exploits. But we have to be very careful to not take on that alter ego of being a hacker and letting it consume us in a way that skews the priorities of the program away from those basic obligations that we have as CISOs. Some of us might come from blue team backgrounds, and for us oftentimes it's that thrill of the hunt, finding a bad actor, understanding what they're doing inside the network, and then, if necessary, taking the actions that are needed to destroy that particular presence within our network. What are some of the things that a CISO can do, whether a new CISO or a CISO that's been in place for years, to make that big rookie mistake of falling into their comfort zone? The first is to know your role and help others understand your role. Education is a big part of being a CISO. You should be talking about the security program with all of the other executives and helping them understand what you do on a daily basis and how you intend to build your program and communicate the gaps that you have in your program to them, so that we can expectation set around what the results of the infosec program might be. The CISO is a fairly new role in most organizations. There aren't a standardized set of documents that can show your performance as a CISO like a CFO might have, with balance sheets and operating expenses or statements of liabilities. There aren't standardized metrics for success like a COO might have, a chief operating officer.
So part of what you need to do in your organization is to ensure that your executives know what your role is and how you intend to carry out that role. Next, you're going to have a strategy, and your strategy can't be your security framework. Think of your security framework as table stakes. These are the things that you just absolutely need to do. It's not your strategy. Your strategy needs to support the business objectives of the company that you work within or organization that you work within. So as an example, if there's a mobile initiative within your company, you should probably be front-loading security work items that are related to that, so that you're in a place, so that that mobile infrastructure is in a place where your organization now knows that it can be deployed securely, not in a place where you're going to have to bolt on security after the fact as a result of some incident that's occurred. So for example, you may be front-loading work items like ensuring that your mobile code base is properly scanned for vulnerabilities, or ensuring the right controls are in place for your mobile API platform. This way, you're aligned with the efforts that the company is or organization is performing, and you're contributing to the transformation that they're trying to accomplish. This makes you part of the team rather than them focusing on mobile and you're focusing on some aspect of your security framework that in essence might not be a clear value add to the executive team. A common comfort zone for security practitioners is focusing much more on the identification of security issues rather than the remediation of those issues. Your organization should care more about the remediation of things that you find than continually identifying more items and not identifying owners for those remediations and ensuring the right remediations are prioritized and then closed. Another common comfort zone for security practitioners is working in a vacuum. Our job as a CISO is to ensure that our team is continuously engaging with other teams so that, because we're not the business process owners in a lot of cases. So our role is to facilitate security results, not necessarily to own the results. We have to think of effective security as an ecosystem. In some ways we facilitate, in other ways we own, in other ways we consume information that all contributes to the overall information security posture of the organization. And if culture starts at the top, we have to ensure as CISOs that we're prioritizing engagement within our teams so that they can be on the front lines and in many cases working from a common backlog with other teams so that we can facilitate the results that our organization deserves. Metrics can be used in multiple ways. First, they can be used simply to inform, but oftentimes I prefer to use them so that decisions are made. But the third, more interesting way to use metrics are to reassure. The role of meaningful metrics in terms of reassuring your executives, your partner teams in development and infrastructure, and your own team that either you're in a good place or you're working to get to a good place, or you're not in a good place and there's work items that need to be done in the future. These are all underappreciated areas of a CISO's responsibility. And then lastly, we have to liberally give credit. Remember, we're facilitators. As a CISO's role is to facilitate the work that is being identified by the security program so that that work gets completed. And the teams that are doing that work won't really appreciate it that much if you're taking all the credit for their work. It's really important to understand that if people are doing the work, liberally give credit. People will understand that your team was involved. It's not about pumping up yourself as the CISO and getting credit for a lot of things. It's about simply making sure that items get remediated. I would rather that work gets done than my team gets credit for something that later on potentially inhibits future work from getting done. Being a CISO isn't just doing what you were doing before with perhaps more pay or more responsibility. It's ensuring that we're part of that ecosystem of executives that works within the organization to accomplish various tasks. So your most effective CISOs are going to operate within the ecosystem of other executives that exist within the organization. They're not going to work within a vacuum. They're going to report and to measure and to set expectations correctly around what the security program looks like and what resources are needed as we move forward. If you're not getting resources in your organization, that's probably on you, not on your executive team. It's our job to make them understand what it is that we need and to frame our discussion with them in a way that's compelling so that a sound business decision can be made as they measure your needs against the needs of the others that operate within the same ecosystem. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for allowing me to spend time with you. Hopefully this video will keep you from making CISO rookie mistakes that could impact your ability to lead your program effectively. If you like this video, please hit the like button below and subscribe. I spend a lot of time on these videos, and that always lets me know that this time is well spent. But in the interim, have a great day. Thank you. And subscribe.